Today, I am going to discuss with you adding fractions with different denominators. And fractions with different denominators are sometimes called dissimilar fractions or unlike fractions, okay? Now, I created 6 steps on how to add different fractions with different denominators. These steps are my own steps, okay? I created these steps for you to be able to have an easier way of understanding, easier and faster way of understanding on how to add fractions with different denominators, okay? So I have here the first step, which is line up the given fractions. So the given fractions are 1/2 plus 2/3 plus 5/6. Following the first step, I am going to line them up. So I'm going to write them in one straight line. So that would be 1/2 plus 2/3 plus 5/6. Okay? And the second step is find the least common denominator using the skip counting. There are a lot of ways on finding the least common denominator. There are actually 2 ways mathematically, okay? The skip counting method is just my method. Why I am using the skip counting method? Because I believe that each and every 5th grader knows how to skip count. But not each and every 5th grader has mastered his multiplication or her multiplication table, okay? So I am using the skip counting, but there are 2 other ways on how to find the least common denominator, and I'm going to discuss that as when you have mastered using the skip counting, okay? So using this skip counting, I will take my denominator. My first denominator is a 2. So I am going to take 2 as my first number. And 4 is my second number. 6 is my third. And I'm going to do that at least 5 times, okay? Then I proceed to my second fraction. My denominator is a 3. So I'm going to start from a 3. Skip counting by 3, the next number is a 6, followed by 9, followed by 12, and followed by 15. I have to do that at least 5 times for my first and second fractions, okay? My third denominator is a 6. On my last fraction and last denominator, I am not going to do it 5 times. I am going to do it not until I am going to do it until I would see a number that is similar with my last denominator. My last denominator is a 6, so I started from 6. I have to stop because I see there is a 6 on my second fraction and there's a 6 also on my first fraction, which means to say my least common denominator is a 6, okay? So that is my step 2. My third step is draw a fractional bar on top of each LCD. So my LCD here is a 6, so I'm going to draw a fractional bar on top of 6. And I'm going to do it the same way here and over here, okay? So that is my third step. And I usually call this stop sign so that when they skip count by the numerator, they have to stop once they reach this fractional bar, which I usually tell or say or call it the stop sign, okay? So I am going to do the same way on my numerator. I have to skip count also using my numerator here as what my step 4 says. To find the numerator for each least common denominator, skip count by the given numerators. So my first numerator here is a 1, so I'm going to count by 1 starting from the top of my first multiple here, so 1, followed by 2, and followed by 3, and I have to stop here, okay? So my numerator here is a 2. I'm going to skip count by 2. My first number is a 2. My second number is a 4. And I have to stop here because of the fractional bar or the stop sign. My numerator here is a 5. So I'm going to skip count by 5 starting from 5. And I have to stop from here. And the fifth step is write the new fractions. So my new fractions now are 3/6, 4/6, 4/6, and 5/6. The 3/6 is equivalent to 1/2. The 4/6 is equivalent to 2/3, and the 5/6 is equivalent to 5/6. Okay? Now, actually, I changed these fractions into their equivalents with the least common denominator. Okay? And my sixth step is proceed to addition. So how am I going to do that? I am going to rewrite my new fractions or write my new fractions. I may write them vertically or horizontally. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to write my 3/6. And I'm going to write my 4/6. And I'm going to write my 5/6. And I'm going to add them. Okay? And according to this, add the numerators and copy the least common denominator. So my numerators are 3, 4, and 5. If I am going to add them, I would be having 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 5 is a 12. That would be my numerator. And for my denominator, I will just copy the least common denominator. And what is the least common denominator? It's a 6. So I'm going to write my 6 here. So adding 1/2 plus 2/3 plus 5/6, my answer is 12/6. Okay? Now, I can simplify this, but I am not going to simplify it yet because I have not discussed with you how to simplify fractions. So, this is how you are going to add fractions with different denominators following these 6 steps. Line up the fractions, that's what I did here. Find the LCD or least common denominator using the skip counting. That's what I did. I skip counted. And finally, I got 6. The first common multiple is the least common multiple or the denominator, okay? And then draw a fractional bar. That's what I did here. And then I also skip counted using my numerators. That's what I did here. And then write the new fractions. My new fractions now, instead of 1/2, I had 3/6. Instead of 2/3, I have 4/6. And 5/6 remains to be 5/6. And then I proceed. I did the addition and add the numerators. 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 5 is a 12, and just copy the least common denominator. I hope this would help you how to add fractions with different denominators. Thank you so much for listening and watching my video.